Deep inside the heart of the wild jungle, where sunlight barely touches the ground and every sound tells a story, something unusual had happened. A mighty lion, the king of this forest, lay helpless beneath a cluster of thick bushes. His golden fur was covered in dust, and his breathing was slow and heavy. Strength, once visible in every step he took, was now fading. He tried to stand, but his injured paw trembled beneath him, and he collapsed back onto the earth. The jungle around him fell silent, as if nature itself understood his pain. Birds resting high above suddenly flew away, startled by a distant sound, an engine. Far along a narrow forest trail, a rescue team vehicle carefully pushed forward. They had received an emergency signal from a wildlife tracker earlier that morning. Somewhere nearby, an animal needed help. Inside the Jeep, the team sat focused and calm. They had done rescues before, but a lion, that required precision, patience, and courage. The GPS blinked. Target location, close. The vehicle stopped. Boots touched the forest floor slowly, carefully. No sudden sounds, no fast movement. Through binoculars, one rescuer finally saw him. The lion, weak, injured, watching. The team veterinarian observed quietly, analyzing the situation from a safe distance. A plan formed within seconds. Every member nodded silently. A tranquilizer dart was prepared. One rescuer stepped forward slowly, his movements calm, his voice soft, letting the lion sense no threat. The lion lifted his head slightly, eyes meeting the humans. For a brief moment, it didn't look like fear. It looked like trust. A silent hand signal. The dart was released. It flew through the air and gently touched the lion's fur. Within minutes, his breathing slowed, his body relaxed, and the pain eased into rest. Now the real rescue could begin. The team approached together, checking his pulse, examining the wound, cleaning the injury with careful hands. A bandage was wrapped securely around his paw. Then they positioned a stretcher beside him. Slowly, carefully, respectfully. They lifted him together, not as hunters, but as protectors. Step by step, they carried the king of the jungle towards safety and gently placed him inside the rescue vehicle. Doors closed softly. Engine started. The journey to treatment had begun. Inside the mobile wildlife clinic, medicine was applied, wounds treated, and vital signs monitored. The lion rested peacefully, finally free from pain. Hours passed. As the sun began to set, golden light poured across the forest clearing. They returned him to his home. The stretcher lowered. The lion stirred. He opened his eyes, lifted his head, and slowly stood. Strength had returned. He looked at the team one last time. Calm, proud, alive. Then, without fear, without pain, he turned and walked back into the jungle, disappearing into the glowing sunset. And just like that, nature had won again. Because sometimes the greatest heroes don't wear crowns, they save them.